Are you struggling ranking up and hitting Unreal? If that's you, you're in the right spot. I've hit Unreal and I know the little tricks to rank up in every game mode. If you're struggling in specific game modes, I have timestamps so you can watch the segments of the game modes that you struggle in the most. Starting off in the new ranked mode, Reload. Reload is extremely fun and the easiest mode to rank up in. The first thing I will cover is the best game mode. In Reload, it really comes down to how many good teammates you have that can get kills and stay alive when needed. I personally play duos because I have one good teammate that I play with and the reboot times are also shorter. In Reload and the other game modes, you need to establish a play style. Are you aggressive or are you passive? In every mode, I would recommend W keying rather than playing passive, and that especially applies to Reload. If you play passive, land on the outskirts and try to find at least a few eliminations and rotate dead side on every rotate. Now for the aggressive players, I will show you how to play every point of your game. During the early game, what I would recommend for you and your teammate to do is to land at a hot drop such as Pleasant or Tilted. I would recommend splitting up but staying close enough that you can help one another. But honestly, just W key and get as many eliminations as possible. For the Reload mid game, I would recommend still playing it like early game, except stay with each other, especially on rotates, and play smart and work together when fighting other teams. Now moving on to the end game. Once reboots end, you need to play together. Stick together on rotates and fights. It is very important because if you get knocked, you need your teammate to be able to back you up. Now I will be moving on to regular build mode. This and ZeroBuild are very similar but have very different metas, so stick around. Now Fortnite has never and never will tell us the best game mode to rank up in, but as a community, we have came down to the fact that solos are the best way to rank up. Now just like any other game mode, you need to figure out your playstyle. I would still recommend W keying people because sitting in a bush will not get you better whatsoever. And also something real quick, you need to learn how to lose percentage. It happens to everyone, even the top pros. If you die once off spawn and go down 5% and get off, what is this helping? Absolutely nothing. Think about it this way. You can only die once per game, but you can get multiple eliminations per game. So if you die off spawn, a high or even mid kill game will put you right back where you were in rank. Now let's cover some good drop spots. A few drop spots I land at are Doomstad to get the mythic shotgun, this little place beside the raft, or Freaky Fields on the roof of the house where Billy spawns. Now I will talk about how to play your game out. During the early game, you should try and get some eliminations, but with that you need to take smart fights and know when to disengage if needed. Moving on to the mid game, you want to play a little bit safer, still key if you're aggressive, but play towards end game so you don't die mid and lose out on all those higher placement points. During the mid game, I would recommend going for a radio tower to get some points, and while doing this you need to find Fizz or a chainsaw for some movement. Doing this is going to set yourself up for the rest of the game. Now once the mid game is over, you my friend are in end game. Here you want to go for height if you have enough mats and look for some easy kills on people rotating, because kills in the end game reward more points than mid or early game kills. But during the end game, if you aren't able to get height, you need to rotate smart and play for the win. Even if you're not able to go for height, I would still recommend trying to get a few kills when it's possible, because again, end game kills are way better than any other kills. Now I will move on to ZeroBuild. Just like builds, the best game mode is solos. You will still need to establish a drop spot. The drop spot for builds are still good for ZeroBuild, so you can use those if you would like. Now I will move on to the meta guns that you need to be carrying. You absolutely need bunkers or shield bubbles. These are very important for rotating during the end game and just rotating in general if somebody shoots at you. After this, you need some sort of heals. I would recommend carrying a gatekeeper or a sovereign shotgun, and for your AR, you need to be carrying the burst. It's simply just the best. And just like builds, you need to carry a chainsaw. Early game and mid game is the same as builds for the most part, but the end game is where it changes a whole lot. Since there is no way to play for height in ZeroBuild unless there are hills, you want to use shield bubbles to rotate. When you rotate, throw a shield bubble down and scan where you should go next. Just keep doing this over and over again until you win the game. Thanks for watching. I hope these tips helped you rank up. Be sure to like and subscribe to support the channel. I love y'all and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Let's go, brother.